Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is WhiteRa and I am back with game number 1 of this best of 3 series. It is coming in from the MLG Orlando 2011 event. We have Millennium Stephano who will be spawning at the top left corner of the map as the pink Zerg. His opponent is gonna be WhiteRa who will be spawning at the bottom right corner of the map as the red Protoss. The map we have right now is a Tiger Shipyard, excuse me. It is a 4-player map. We have one Sun Tower in the middle and also 2 gold expansions in the middle as well. And we might not even get to see that at all being used because these players are quite unique in their own way, especially WhiteRa. WhiteRa has very different playstyle and I'll get to that in just 1 second. This is, by the way, from the open bracket of the MLG Orlando 2011 event. They just released the replay pack and I'm gonna try my best to cast as many games as I can for you guys in the next following days. Maybe around 10 best of 5 series, best of 3 series, I'm not sure. That's pretty much a dream goal, but then again, I'll try my best to do that for you guys. And here we go. Let's talk about a little bit about the players. So if you guys don't know WhiteRa, you guys have missed out a lot of SC days or SC years, I guess, because WhiteRa has been around for a while, pretty much well known all over the foreigner scene. It's actually a big influence in the Brood War foreigner scene and also in the Starcraft 2 foreigner scene as well. Very inspirational guy, really motivated, and still in his age, I'm guessing around 34, he is still kicking butt, kicking 20-year-old people's butt and such. He's still pretty much one of the people that's being looked upon, even by pros, with playstyles and such that actually are quite unique in their own. As for Millennium Stephano, he is a really young player. I think he's still around 18 years old, and he already won 2 major tournaments, one being the IPL Season 3 and also the ESWC France, which happened last October. So just a day ago or last month, he has just won 2 major tournaments, and both of them have a whopping prize pool of, I don't know, I think IPL 2 had around $100,000 in prize pool, and then we have ESWC around 88,000 in prize pool, and the first place is actually for IPL 2 40,000 and ESWC around that same price as well. So he has just won a lot of money in just this past month. Very amazing job right here, and a very promising player as well. Let's go back to the game. We have spawning pool being finished right here for Stephano, and also the hatchery is almost done here for Stephano as well. He is gonna go for heavy macro most likely. Not really gonna see any pressure from both players, as we do have a fast nexus almost done here as well for WhiteRa. Forge going down at the front with a pylon, with a gateway, with a photon cannon as well, and gonna try to finish things up with a cybernetic score most likely in a couple seconds here. So there's actually a ton of possibilities for openings or for plays that we are gonna see, especially from both of these guys. We might see some Dark Templars coming out of WhiteRa, and I don't know, his how do you say that? His most well-known play is the War Prism drop, because he is pretty much the only one who uses it properly or most efficiently, as he does do a lot of damage with his War Prism plays and such. And we might see that used here, as this is a pretty well-sized map. You can't really do a lot of harassments here. Both players are pretty much well divided. There's a good amount of gap right there as well, so if ever you scout early, you're gonna be able to have a lot of reinforcements. If ever you see the army of your opponent traversing the field and reaching to your base. Harvester tab real quick. We have 32 against 29 right now in favor of WhiteRa. So I'm wondering what WhiteRa will do here, because it's usually the Protoss or the opponent of Zerg players that does the move, because as Blizzard says, Zerg is meant to be a reactive race, so they're just gonna sit there, take some hits, and try to just survive for a long time before they can counterattack and such. And that's pretty much what Zerg is pretty much well known for. As we do have Paladin here blocking things off for Stephano. He's actually gonna go for an expansion here as well. So this is gonna be the right move for Stephano, as he does scout that there is a wall off here by the front of the base of WhiteRa. So this is pretty much the smartest thing to do. Whenever your opponent goes for a second base, you just go rapidly to a third base if you are playing as Zerg player. because you don't want to get behind in bases, especially on a good size map right here. As we do see the Zerglings just gonna check down the potential third base of WhiteRa. Not really there yet. Not really there at all. 51 against 48 right now in favor of Stephano. As we do have warp technology being made right there, or being researched, and we have a warp prism indeed being made right now here for WhiteRa. This is gonna be pretty baller, and also 4 gateways are on the way right now for WhiteRa. We are definitely gonna see some drops here in just 1 second, because warp prism is pretty much just good for just that, just drops. Not like in Protoss or not like in the Terran race and in the Zerg race, where observers are more than just dropships and medevacs are just more than dropships as well. Yeah, they need to do something about that. But then again, they can warp in units anyway whenever they're in warp in panel mode. As we do see the third hatchery finishing right here for Stephano. His economy is gonna skyrocket, and also making some roaches here as well. And Gladed Reconstitution is on the way right now as well. There Immortals being made here by WhiteRa, as this Warp Prism is on the way right now. Oh, very smart play. He is actually not waiting for units to be warped inside his base, because indeed WhiteRa's Warp Prism is indeed a pylon as well. So that's pretty much what he can do right now. He can actually just ship that Warp Prism straight to the at least halfway point of the map, and then just warp in your opponents from there, and we'll see how much damage we can this Warp Prism can do, as we do have 8 roaches in the field right now for Stephano, and 8 Zerglings as well for defense. 3 Quiz as well are right there as well, and also Spore Crawls right there. Oh, he is gonna spot that Warp Prism and doing massive damage right now, killing off the shields, and finally breaks through the shield to do some massive HP damage. And the Queens are actually in range there, but then again, is the Warp Prism safe on that corner? It doesn't look like it. Oh, WhiteRa, what are you gonna do right now? He is completely trapped, and the Warp Prism is most likely gonna go down. The Warp Prism is low on HP. Yes, indeed. He is gonna lose a Warp Prism and 4 Zealots, and that very unfortunate there for WhiteRa. But then again, nice play by Stephano, cornering that Warp Prism and not allowing it to get away. Do have a good amount of roaches traversing the field right now, as WhiteRa goes for a third base. So we might see this roach is gonna go for the Spectre rocks, because you always want to kill the rocks off, even if you're not gonna pursue for an attack right now. It could be used for the future, and it always will be a potential threat in the future. So he is gonna be forcing WhiteRa to make a couple of pylons, maybe even walling things off in the future as well. But anyways, here the rocks are gonna go down right now. The Overseers are gonna get focus fired right there as well, but then again, nope, they're just gonna run away. I don't think it's the smartest way to move in right now, because there is an Immortal and a Colossus in that small bio, or a small mix right there of WhiteRa. 104 against 125 right now. Guardian Shield going up right there for WhiteRa, so just to ward things up right now. He doesn't really want to engage that as of yet, because that thing can still do damage. Spire going now right now for Stephano. Most likely those are for countering those Colossus. He's gonna make a couple of Corruptors, maybe around 7 or 8 Corruptors or so. That's pretty much a good amount of countering a good amount of Colossus. But then again, it's always a gamble though, because your opponent can always transition out to another tech builds, like maybe transition out to Archons, or maybe just make massive Immortals and such. That's pretty much the difficulties of what Zergs has to face whenever they have pumped out like a good number of Corruptors. Whenever those Colossus are gone, they're gonna be pretty much paperweight, just roaming around the field. As we do have Burrow being researched right now, and also Zerg missile upgrade going down, the level 2 upgrade going down right there, and just 1+1 upgrade going down for WhiteRa for the armor. So that's pretty much behind right there for WhiteRa. Let's see the rest of the upgrade. Nothing at all, just +1 attack and +1 armor on the way. And look at the ground units of WhiteRa of Stephano, excuse me, almost the same thing as well. So it's still pretty even, but in economy, or at least in food supply, 177 against 140. Stephano just taking the lead, and also taking the gold expansion here. This is gonna help out Stephano a lot, especially with maxing out units. He is gonna have such an easy time maxing out or remaxing his army whenever the clash happens and he loses a ton of units. But then again, here we go, 104 against 146 right now. This might be the best thing right now for Stephano to attack, as there is no death blow here as of this moment. We have roaches going up the high ground, and also right here at the back, oh, here we go, the Corruptors are gonna go focus on the Colossus, and the Roaches are actually in a good position, but then is it gonna be enough? The one Colossus did go down. Second one is gonna get focused fire, then all of the Roaches army is gonna go down as well. There's barely any ground units here for Stephano at all Colossus goes down, but again, where are the ground army of Stephano? They are non-existent. They got completely wiped out. Very nice play by WhiteRa, and Stephano still ahead by 40 food supply though, so this might be a tricky situation right here for WhiteRa because he needs to pick what time he is gonna clash again. He needs to make as much units as he can right now, because I would assume he would think that Stephano is still ahead if he scouted this gold expansion, which looks like he did. Yes, indeed, he did scout the gold expansion. He is gonna know that he is still behind, especially in economy, as we do see more immortals being pumped out right now by WhiteRa. Very nice transition right here by WhiteRa, just pumping out a lot of immortals instead of Colossus to make those corruptors useless in clashes and such. As we stand right now 199 and against 167. Still though, this is a big army for Stephano, and good forces right there by WhiteRa, slicing the army of Stephano in half, doing massive damage. 172 against 157 right now. All the immortals are still alive. Those army of Stephano got cut in half, and he has lost so much supply here. He's still gonna push in right now, gonna try to do a lot of damage, but again, blinking up right now. The blink suckers. Oh no, the immortals are caught off guard right now, gonna get completely surrounded, gonna get focus fired, but then again, Burrow Tech is done right here for Stephano. Gonna go for surround on that immortal. Very nice way. All the immortals are gonna go down for WhiteRa. Very nice play, and I think this is looking really bad right now for WhiteRa. Still though, he is in the lead now in full supply. Very nice play. Stephano was actually maxed out a while ago, but again, WhiteRa coming back and just gonna try to just finish things up. I believe it is now 160 against 174. WhiteRa still in the lead in unit tab. We have 37 stalkers on the field and 2 immortals. Wow, that's a lot of stalkers. Millennium Stephano needs to be careful in engaging that, as he only has 24 roaches and 5 corruptors, barely useless corruptors. And Zerglings are out in the field as well, so this might be evening things out in just 1 second. +2 attack upgrade going down right there for WhiteRa, and here we go. That clash is gonna happen. Hydras are in the mix of that as well. Very good flank right here for Stephano, but again, is there enough units right there to clean things up? The immortals are doing massive damage. I want to see how many kills the immortals have. One immortal has 8 kills and the other one has 8 kills as well. Oh my god, those immortals are just doing massive damage, killing up tons of roaches and such, and they are gonna move back the army of Stephano. Very nice play. WhiteRa just blinking all over the field right now. He needs to be careful because some of those immortals might get surrounded by some of the roaches, and here we go. The roaches are gonna come in from behind. Gonna try to focus fire on one immortal. The immortal is gonna go down, and drones are being pulled up the line. There's a good amount of Hydras here. Hydras have massive amounts of DPS and they do massive damage to gateway units. But then again, is there enough though? It looks like there is no more Hydras inside. Barely any units at all. There's 20 Zerglings on the way, but then again, is it gonna be enough though? 80 against 129 right now. WhiteRa taking the lead in the game. Most likely this game is pretty much GG, and we are gonna see that out of Stephano very shortly. Only corruptors on the field right now, losing a ton of harvesters as well. 78 against 44 right now, killing off a lot of corruptors right there. And I think this is pretty much GG. 71 against 136 right now. He might just GG very shortly. I don't know. I'm just calling it right now, as it's gonna be almost impossible to come back at this. More units are coming in right now for WhiteRa, and there it is. Millennium Stephano says grats to WhiteRa, taking game number 1 of this best of 3 series, and game number 2 is coming right up in just 1 second, guys. So stick around. We'll be right back.